You ever wake up thinking it's just going to be another Tuesday? Yeah, that was me. 6:30 in the morning, coffee just about to hit my mug, when three diesel trucks come barreling down my driveway like they're running a SWAT raid on a war criminal. I hear boots crunching over the frost, and next thing I know, three HOA board members are hammering on my door like they're trying to wake the dead, waving a demolition notice in my face, all proud, acting like they just bagged Bigfoot. They say my family's 150-year-old ranch is an eyesore, and it's gotta go, immediately. That right there? That's the moment the world tilted for me. Because these clowns? They didn't realize I'd just been elected HOA president the night before, at a meeting they were too smug to even show up for. For generations of Colton blood, $2.3 million in property, and 47 acres older than the HOA itself. What would you do if strangers tried to tear down your great-great-grandfather's homestead? Seriously, let me know in the comments. I want to see how many of you have ever stared down power-hungry HOA bullies. Let me back up a sec. Name's Ezra Colton. 2 years back, cancer took my wife Sarah at 44. She could light up a room by just being in it, you know what I mean? Sometimes I still catch her perfume on the curtains, and for a second, she's there again. After her funeral, work felt meaningless, a sea of beige cubicles, fighting over profits while my daughter Melody, 16, tried to learn to breathe again. And I remembered Sarah's last words. Take Melody home, Ezra. Take her to the ranch. So I did. Packed up our suburban life, and we went back to Colton Ranch, 47 acres where Josiah Colton first drove a fence post in 1874. That barn still smells like hay and horse sweat. If you run your hand along the old oak beam, you'll feel Josiah's initials dug in deep. The Dust Bowl couldn't blow us out, tornadoes couldn't knock us down, and economic crashes just made us dig deeper. Giving up isn't in Colton DNA. Melody hated it at first, trading Starbucks and shopping malls for mucking stalls and brushing down thunder, our bay gelding. But then, one night, she started humming the same lullabies her grandma used to sing, and I knew Sarah was right. We were home. And then, enter Priscilla Worthington Hayes. Imagine every entitled suburban nightmare wrapped in one person, parking her white Tesla sideways like she owns the county. Never met a rule she couldn't bend. Her husband's a developer, building those luxury neighborhoods where every house looks copy-pasted. Priscilla's been running Sunset Meadows HOA like her own kingdom for 8 years. Here's the thing. The association didn't even exist until 113 years after Josiah first broke this land. But Priscilla? She claimed my barn, my fence, even Melody's rooster Sebastian, were all threats to property values. Her first move came 3 weeks in, a surprise inspection with her and her loyal henchman, Brad and Dale, stomping up my driveway. Clipboard in hand, perfume thick enough to choke a mule, listing off violations. Barn roof unsightly. Those are historic shingles. Fence line encroachment, built before the HOA existed. Livestock odors. Excessive noise from a rooster. My hands balled up that notice and Melody saw the whole thing. Eyes wide, angry, confused. Dad, why do they want to destroy our home? That's when I knew. This was never about property values. This was about power and profit. Next move, Priscilla calls a secret HOA meeting, except the official notice goes to an abandoned lot. The real meeting? At the community center, just her and her lackeys. They illegally fined me $500 a day for a barn that stood longer than their last 3 marriages combined. And, plot twist, she forges neighbor complaints, fake letters about my eyesore ruining the American dream. I show up at their little kangaroo court, start recording on my phone. Got 20 years of corporate consulting under my belt. I know the game. I hit them with state law. HOAs have to give open 72-hour meeting notice. What they're doing? Straight up criminal. Afterwards, Mrs. Bennett, my neighbor, confides in me. Ezra, none of us ever complained. Turns out, everyone loves seeing Melody ride thunder. The rooster? Reminds old-timers of their childhood. Still, by week's end, fines hit $3,500. But what Priscilla didn't see coming was that I was already building my own case, logging every violation, recording every threat, submitting it to the county clerk. One afternoon, an inspector shows up, claims of structural concerns, all traced back to Priscilla. But my barn's protected, house is up to code, fence is legal. Inspector shakes his head. Says I'm the third target of bogus complaints from that same HOA in a month. That's when I file my complaints: vandalism, trespassing, complete with video of Dale sabotaging my fence. I call in some favors from my old consulting days. Alert the county supervisor about how these fake calls drain resources. Soon, every agency in the county knows Priscilla's game. But it goes deeper. Mrs. Bennett overhears Priscilla plotting with her husband to push out problem properties so they can rezone the whole area. That night, I dig into county records. Find Bradley's company is quietly trying to turn all our farms into luxury condos. This isn't about code. It's about driving out families, erasing history, and flipping a generational land grab. Then comes the social warfare. At the Hendersons' barbecue, Priscilla works the crowd, passing out doctored photos, photoshopped rust, garbage, anything to make my place look condemned. She's got petitions signed under false pretenses. But then Mrs. Rodriguez, quiet, sharp-eyed, calls her out. These don't match. I walk past the Colton place every day. It's clean. The crowd turns. Turns out, a lot of folks have been bullied, fined for wind chimes, Christmas lights, even a vegetable garden. Why are we letting one person run this place like a dictatorship? I ask. Suddenly, we're all sharing stories, standing up for each other. Priscilla, realizing she's losing her grip, storms out, but not before snarling. Some problems require permanent solutions. Real subtle. Digging through dusty files at the courthouse, I strike gold. Original HOA boundaries never included my ranch or 6 other properties. We'd been paying dues for 35 years for nothing. Oh, and that $47,000 in legal fees? Turns out, the law firm's silent partner is none other than Bradley Worthington. Priscilla's been laundering HOA money straight to her husband's pocket. That's not just a conflict of interest, it's criminal. I call my old friend Sarah Kim at the Attorney General's office. Got your next case right here. The timing's perfect. Priscilla's term as board chair is up in 18 days. Only 12 residents needed for a quorum to vote her out. For years she's kept turnout low, but not this time. Armed with proof of fraud, corruption, and illegal boundaries, we launch a grassroots campaign. My kitchen turns into war room. Mrs. Bennett pores over bank statements. Janet Mills drops a binder thick enough to stop a bullet. Been tracking violations for 2 years. Manuel Rodriguez, his wife Carmen, she's researched the HOA statutes, finds half their fees are illegal. Melody takes charge of social media, organizes everyone under a private group, teaches folks how to dig up deeds and bylaws. We run workshops, pass out flyers, explain their rights. For the first time in years, people feel powerful. The desperation from Priscilla and Bradley? You could smell it. Mix of expensive cologne and panic. Bradley shows up at my door, briefcase in hand, offers $2.8 million for my land, nearly $500,000 over market. If you don't sell, legal costs can be astronomical. Threats, bribes, the works. What he doesn't know is I'm recording the whole conversation. The dirty tricks escalate. Fake flyers, doctored photos on Facebook, even anonymous tips to CPS. Melody comes home crying from school. People spreading rumors, our family under siege. Then, Saturday morning, I wake up to find our gate chained shut, condemned signs everywhere, water pipes cut during a cold snap. Horses nearly die from dehydration. But every move, every criminal act, I've got on camera. We hit the tipping point when Carmen's tech whiz son tracks the fake social media accounts to Priscilla's husband's company. CPS, the insurance investigator, the county, everyone's now watching Priscilla. The evidence is overwhelming. Election night, Sunset Meadows Community Center is packed, reporters in the back, the county supervisor front row. Priscilla arrives with her lawyer, flanked by security, expecting her usual coronation. Instead, Janet Mills reads out the financial audit, $67,000 misused. I play the audio of Bradley's bribe and threats over the loudspeakers. I present documents proving 23 families were never legally part of the HOA. Residents start sharing their own stories. Then, Police Chief Anderson walks in, arrests Priscilla for fraud, harassment, and more, her henchmen already singing to the DA. County Supervisor Williams stands up. Your husband was arrested this morning. The FBI works early. When the votes are counted, I'm elected HOA president by a landslide. First order of business. All illegal fines rescinded immediately. What came next? Honestly, it was like watching spring after a long, bitter winter. The neighborhood bloomed. Fines dropped, dues cut. Mrs. Bennett's memorial garden replaced Priscilla's slush fund lot. Melody turned her 4-H project into a community education program, teaching kids about horses and history. That Colton sense of justice? Alive and well, she's headed to law school to help other families fight back. We even launched the Colton Ranch Preservation Scholarship, sending 3 local kids to study law, journalism, and civic engagement. Turns out, when you fight back as a community, you make things better not just for yourselves, but for everyone around you. News of our win spread. Now I get calls from all over Texas, even other states. Our little coalitions helped 17 communities take down corrupt boards, recovered hundreds of thousands in stolen dues, sent crooks to prison, and proved that ordinary folks can stand up to extraordinary greed. You still think one person can't make a difference? Think again. Every sunset at the ranch, hearing Sebastian crow and watching thunder graze, I'm reminded what the American dream really is. It's not about perfect lawns or HOA compliance. It's about standing up for what's right, protecting your home, and leaving your community better than you found it. So what's your HOA horror story? Share it below. Let's build an army of neighbors who aren't afraid to fight back. Subscribe, drop your thoughts about justice or community, because as long as there are Priscillas in the world, we're not done. Not by a long shot.